The year is 1965. The Cold War casts a long shadow over the world. In Ankara, a new organization takes shape, the Milli İstihbarat Teşkilatı, or MIT, its mission to safeguard Turkey from threats both foreign and domestic. MIT's early years were defined by the tumultuous geopolitics of the Cold War. Turkey, a key NATO member, found itself on the front lines of the ideological struggle against the Soviet Union. The agency's primary focus was counterintelligence. It worked to neutralize Soviet espionage networks within Turkey. MIT also played a role in gathering intelligence on regional threats. This included monitoring the activities of neighboring countries like Greece, Syria, and Iraq. The agency's operations were often shrouded in secrecy. This was a necessity in the shadowy world of Cold War espionage. Over time, MIT gained a reputation for its effectiveness. It became a vital asset for Turkey in navigating the treacherous waters of Cold War politics. However, the end of the Cold War brought new challenges. MIT would need to adapt to a rapidly changing world. The Berlin Wall falls. The Soviet Union collapses. The world watches in astonishment. For MIT, a new era has begun. The old enemy is gone, but new threats emerge from the ashes of the old world order. The 1990s saw the rise of ethnic conflicts, religious extremism, and transnational terrorism. Turkey, situated at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, found itself increasingly vulnerable to these threats. The Kurdish-Turkish conflict intensified within Turkey's own borders. The rise of groups like Al-Qaeda signaled a new era of terrorism. This new threat required a different approach to intelligence gathering and analysis. MIT realized it needed to change. It could no longer afford to be a purely reactive organization, focused primarily on counterintelligence. The year 2011. A wave of protests, uprisings, and revolutions sweeps across the Arab world. The Arab Spring, as it came to be known, would have profound implications for Turkey and its intelligence agency. The Arab Spring brought both opportunities and risks for Turkey. The country saw a chance to increase its regional influence. However, the turmoil also created new security challenges. The Syrian civil war, which erupted in 2011, would prove to be a pivotal event for MIT. The Syrian conflict created a breeding ground for terrorist groups, including ISIS. Millions of refugees fled across the border into Turkey, straining resources and raising security concerns. MIT found itself on the front lines of a new kind of war, a complex, multi-sided conflict with no easy solutions. The Syrian war raged on. Turkey faced a growing threat from ISIS and other terrorist groups. MIT's role in counterterrorism became paramount. The agency stepped up its intelligence-gathering efforts. It infiltrated terrorist networks, tracked their movements, and thwarted attacks. MIT worked closely with Turkish security forces to secure the country's borders. They sought to prevent the infiltration of terrorists and weapons. The agency also played a key role in managing the influx of Syrian refugees. They identified potential security threats among the refugees. MIT's counterterrorism efforts were not without controversy. There were allegations of human rights abuses. However, there is no doubt that the agency played a vital role in protecting Turkey from terrorism during this tumultuous period. Section 5. Whispers in the Shadows. MIT's foray into international espionage. As Turkey's regional ambitions grew, so too did MIT's reach. The agency expanded its operations beyond Turkey's borders. It engaged in intelligence gathering and covert actions across the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. MIT's focus shifted towards advancing Turkey's strategic interests. This included securing energy resources, countering rivals, and promoting Turkish influence abroad. The agency cultivated relationships with intelligence services in friendly countries. It also engaged in espionage against perceived enemies, including some Western nations. MIT's activities often sparked controversy. Some accused the agency of meddling in the internal affairs of other countries. However, MIT's defenders argued that the agency was simply doing what was necessary to protect Turkey's interests in a dangerous world. Section 6. The Architect of Influence, Hakan Fidan and the Rise of Intelligence-Driven Diplomacy. In 2010, Hakan Fidan was appointed as the head of MIT. A close confidant of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Fidan was a controversial figure. However, he was also a shrewd and ambitious intelligence professional. Fidan oversaw a period of significant expansion and transformation for MIT. He strengthened the agency's capabilities in cyber espionage, signal intelligence, and human intelligence. He also forged closer ties between MIT and the Turkish military. Under Fidan's leadership, MIT played an increasingly prominent role in shaping Turkey's foreign policy. Fidan himself was a key player in Turkish diplomacy, often engaging in direct negotiations with foreign leaders and intelligence chiefs.
Join Intel Prime channel membership today and get access to exclusive benefits, including early access to new videos, exclusive discounts on Intel products, behind-the-scenes content, live chat with me and other members. Other options will be soon available. Thank you for your support and for helping Intel Prime grow.